Most people think interest rates control home prices. That's not actually true. And if you're waiting for rates to drop before making a move, you might be focusing on the wrong thing. Today, I'm going to break down what actually controls home prices and what will truly need to happen for housing affordability to improve in a healthy way. Because it's not as simple as rates need to come down. Let's start with the foundation. The number one driver of home prices is supply and demand. When there are more buyers than homes available, prices go up. When there are more homes than buyers, prices soften. That's why inventory levels matter so much. Month supply of inventory is one of the clearest indicators of market direction. Low supply creates competition. High supply creates leverage for buyers. Everything else we're going to talk about feeds into this balance. So, if supply and demand is the foundation, what actually influences it? Let's talk about interest rates. Interest rates don't directly set home prices, they affect the affordability. When rates go up, monthly payments increase. When rates go down, purchasing power improves. And that change in purchasing power influences demand. But here's where a lot of people get confused. Even if rates come down, that doesn't automatically mean homes become more affordable. For example, if rates drop by 1%, but now you're competing with 10 more buyers for the same home, did affordability really improve? Rates influence demand. Demand influences prices, but rates alone don't control the market. And this is where the conversation gets deeper. Because even if rates move, there's another factor that matters just as much. A strong job market supports housing demand. When people are earning stable incomes and feel confident in the economy, they buy homes. But here's the issue. If home prices grow faster than wages, affordability declines. And in many markets, that's exactly what we've seen over the past few years. Income growth is a critical piece of the puzzle. Now, let's zoom in a little bit because real estate isn't just national, it's local. Real estate is local. New schools, infrastructure, commercial development, zoning changes, all of these can impact property values in specific areas. Two neighborhoods in the same city can perform very differently. That's why understanding your local market matters more than reacting to the national headlines. And then there's one more factor, the one that doesn't show up on the charts. Markets are driven by data, but they're also driven by emotion. If buyers believe prices will rise, they move faster. If buyers believe prices will fall, they hesitate. Confidence influences timing. Timing influences demand, and demand influences prices. And that psychological layer can amplify everything else we've talked about. Now, here's the bigger question. Price movement is one thing, but what would actually improve affordability? If affordability were as simple as lowering interest rates, we would have solved that already. But it's not. In my opinion, the most sustainable path to improve affordability requires balance. No extremes, not a crash, not a sudden surge, but balance. First, income growth. Wages need to rise at a healthy pace so buyers can afford homes without overextending themselves. That's the foundation of real affordability. Second, interest rate stability. If rates drop too quickly, demand can spike. And when demand spikes, prices can rise again, which cancels out the benefit. A gradual, stable environment is much healthier. And third, inventory. More homes on the market gives buyers more options. It reduces bidding wars, it slows aggressive price growth. But inventory rising because of economic distress is not healthy. Balanced supply growth is. A healthy housing market isn't one where prices crash, and it's not one where prices skyrocket. It's one where incomes rise, inventory grows steadily, and rates stabilize, so both buyers and sellers can move with confidence. If you found this video helpful, Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and share with anybody that could use this information. And if you're trying to figure out whether it makes sense for you to buy, sell, or refinance in today's market, drop a comment below or reach out directly. I'll help you make sense of your specific situation. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Francisco's Key Insights. I'll see you next time.